This is a tip that's really worth learning. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piano sound like this. I'm going to drag it into a track. As you can see here, it's just a basic piano sound. I'm going to take the plugin and I'm going to press Control G just on that plugin. So what it's done is basically that group is really just an instrument rack. So if you go in and duplicate this, so you can click on duplicate like that, you've got basically two instances of the piano, so nothing special there. What we can do now is we can go into Media Effects and drag an arpeggiator onto one of those keys. We've got a basic up arpeggiator. On the other one, we can drag another arpeggiator. This one here is just going to be style of chord trigger. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look for a bass. We'll look for an operator bass like this. Under instruments, so we'll just take analog bass and replace the second key zone classic with that bass. And so what's happening now, we've got a bass and a piano playing at the same time. Because it's not poly, it's only going to play one note at a time. Which is super cool. But what we want to do now is on the classic, we want to bring in a reverb. So we're just going to type reverb in here and bring in a hybrid reverb on the piano classic. Let's take a listen. Super cool. But what we're going to do is reduce the volume here of the bass, which is overpowering the piano. And that bass is playing really high. So let's go in and take a MIDI effect and we're going to just lower the pitch by an octave. Now we're going to go back to that piano and we're going to just change that style so it's a little bit more interesting. We'll do convergence and divergence and we're going to go up a step. It's going to go up a step by a semitone distance for each step. So now let's take a listen to that. But we can do even more than that, and we can now duplicate the keyboard classic, and this style here is going to be chord trigger. We're going to increase that gate so it sounds a little bit more open. So on the bass we may want to increase the rate here to 16. So that's sounding pretty cool, but let's duplicate that piano sound again. We'll just bring in a lush diva here, and that, remember, that's playing converge and diverge. And let's just go and select a polysynth like this. Super cool, but we're going to change that style to chord trigger again. Let's reduce that bass rate now to 4, just to try something different. Sounding super cool. So another thing we could do is we can remove everything that's in the instrument rack and we can start bringing in some drum loops into the instrument rack like this. Let's just bring in a couple of very unrelated drum loops and let's play them. Okay, so let's click on shot. Click on slice for both of them. Okay, now let's bring in a delay for one of the drum hits like this. Just type in delay and audio effect. Let's just bring that into the drum and bass kit. So there's so much stuff you can do with an instrument rack. Check it out and give it a go. I think you'll like it.